All right, my friends, this week on Prof and Dev Play Games, we are doing our Game of the Year for 2025. Stay tuned. All right, my friends, welcome to episode 509 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry, the professor. Over there is Anthony, the dev. How are you doing, Anthony?
I'm doing well. I do have to go to work tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
First time in 2 weeks.
Ooh. Are you in person for tomorrow's?
Yeah, I'm gonna try going to the office tomorrow. Weirdly, the thing that I'm excited about doing is taking the water taxi.
Oh, yeah.
Which is ridiculous, but it's true. I'm like, I love that little boat.
Get to read or play a game on the commute.
Yeah, exactly. I find it very relaxing to and cool. From. So, nope. Vacation is done. Holidays were fine. Generally uneventful. Good times, and was able to relax and just have a good time.
Good.
But now I have to dive back into things and remember what I actually do.
Yep.
Actually figure out what I do now. That's going to be a thing.
That's right, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Condolences. Congratulations.
Yeah, both. Now I get to be associate design director and figure out what that means. I do know I have to give a presentation a week from Tuesday. It's not a hard presentation. I just actually have to give a presentation on design between a couple development milestones of like, look at what happened in design during this time. Liz was very right before she left. Producer was like, so Aunt, you'll be giving a presentation on like design retrospective for the milestone. I was like, what? Liz is like, gotcha.
Oh, that sucks.
I was like, damn it.
Oh man. If I only I had known.
Okay.
Wow.
And I said I'd deal with it when I got back. So
yeah,
that'll be this week. I don't think it's not going to be a hard thing, but
you'll do great.
Do that, and I have a bunch of meetings, as always. That will be my life. That'll be a lot more of my life now.
Meetings, lots more meetings.
Lots more meetings, but we did hire more people, so that have taken off my IC work away from me.
Yeah.
So I don't have to stress about how do I fit all the IC work in with all the meetings.
A reasonable amount of work.
I can just dedicate myself to the actual work of meetings. Because I don't want to make it sound like meetings aren't work. Sometimes they aren't. Sometimes they're very frustrating if they're a bad meeting, and you're like, why are we doing this? Mm-hmm. But in general, I would say that's not typically the case at Systemera, and the meetings are useful. So it's just that's part of work, and that's part of what I need to be doing. But man. See how check in with me in a few months. Let's see how we're doing.
Yes. How about this? I'll check in with you every week on a podcast.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, Game of the Year. We played some games last year. Last year was a kind of a good year of games, despite a lot of things being pushed out to 2026. So the way that we do Game of the Year is we each have a top 5, and then we have several honorable mentions. For the top 5s, we basically assign them point values. So 5th on the list gets 1 point, 4th gets 2, 3rd gets 3, 2nd gets 4 points, and then the top of our list gets 5 points. And then we just do math. And then whichever one between us has the highest number is the Prof and Dev Play Games podcast Game of the Year, even though we may have different Games of the Year on top. So that's that. Anything to add to that before we get into the meat of the discussion?
So it was a good year.
It was. I played some great.
When I put games down, I was like, okay, I have to think about this. To think back through the beginning of the year and everything, and was like, yeah, never mind. There's some good stuff this year. But yeah, we can go. I have 2 honorable mentions that I couldn't find a place to fit them in for various reasons. My 2, one that I played a ton of, and I just couldn't. It is close to 5, but I want to give 5 to a different game. but Arc Raiders is probably would have been like
Oh wow,
6 for me.
I expected
I
that.
really
Yeah,
enjoyed
for
Arc.
sure. Yeah,
It's very good, and it takes the extraction genre and definitely makes it much more mainstream. And I really appreciated that. I appreciated that. Yeah, it still was PvP, but there was a tendency for a nicer player base.
right.
And actually, a side thing, the head of the studio came out and actually said, if you shoot people on site, they keep track of that, and you get queued with people who are more aggressive.
Oh, interesting.
They have queues based on like aggression level, and will put you in servers that match that. So, where I tend not to, that's why I was getting matched typically with people that wanted to just like have the PvE experience more than anything, or a co-op experience. So that was smart. I don't know if that completely works if it was like a small player base, but I think its player base is still huge.
Yeah.
Like SteamDB for Arc Raiders is insane. I think it's only dropped 10-20% of its total player base since launch.
You said it's retained 20? What do you say?
Retain. It's only dropped 10-20%.
Oh,
I think
wow.
is what I
That's
saw.
okay.
Like,
okay, great.
I'm looking at its charts real quickly. Yeah. So, yeah, it's 2-month peak has been 482,000. Its last 24-hour peak was 466,000. So, it's retained incredibly well.
Yeah.
So, I think that just speaks to just like the quality of the game and the quality of the experience. Like if I'm going to play a multiplayer game, that's the one I'd be playing right now when I do. It's just nothing else comes close to that. The feeling of the intensity you get while playing that game. Enemies are hard. Enemies you have to be dangerous. It's a game about moving around, being careful, being aware of what your surroundings. And then when you come across a person, you don't know if they're going to be kind or not, which I think that's a turn off to some people. And it was for me for any of the other extraction, but I understand there's a tension there that no other game really gives me in that way of, can I trust them or not?
Right. Right.
And so with that, like, didn't make my top 5, but it is a very good game. And if they don't fumble their updates and everything, I think they'll have a very, very long tail of players.
That's cool.
Actually, it's up.
There are more players now than there were at launch?
Not at launch, but it had been peaking at about 386, 420,000. But this past weekend, it got up to 467.
Oh, wow. So it is kind of growing a little bit.
Yeah, it's just being... actually, it has been growing over the last month. I don't know if it's not more than max. It's close to max.
Went on sale a little bit during the Steam winter sale.
That's probably it. It's Steam sale, more people getting it, but
yeah,
that's a hell of a tale.
That's great.
So that was one, and then the other my honorable mention was, because I didn't play it, but I got to experience played, was Split Fiction.
Oh, nice.
Because I watched so much of it played.
Oh,
with my kids playing it and everything. Yeah. It's a great game. I couldn't realistically put it in my top 5 because I just hadn't touched it myself. But it's neat. It's great. My kids had a blast. I think that's going to be pretty foundational memory for them overall. Like, it's really embedded in them of like, oh yeah, we played this game together and we had a great time doing it. And they're actually looking for other co-op games like that now, or at least paying attention to what's coming out.
Yeah.
So that... I don't know if I can speak higher than that of that game of like, yeah, it made my kids actually like play together and
and like, have work together, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and then when Kartik and I played it, we were looking for that similar experience too, because it was such a unique high. Like, it was incredible. Yeah. I want more of that for sure.
Yeah. And I think it's probably the best work out of that studio. who I'm
Yeah, I
blanking on
haven't.
their name right now.
It's Hazelight.
Hazelight, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played the other ones, but actually I played Brother in Tale of Two Sons.
Yeah, their first one.
Which
Yeah.
which is you on one controller, unless you want
Yes.
to split the controller with someone. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Those memories, those family memories, I'm finding more and more the family memories impact how much I'm enjoying a game these days.
I can see that.
So
Yeah.
it's really cool to see your kids enjoying
Yeah.
that. For me, I'm gonna double yours. I've got 4 honorable mentions, but I'll go through them pretty quickly. I just added one while you were talking because I was hesitating to add it, and I was like, no, I want to for the same reason you're talking about. So Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment, I didn't touch it at all until the very end when my daughter needed a little bit of help to do co-op, but she played the whole thing by herself, and I sat there and watched her play the whole thing. So I experienced the whole thing back to front to back. I mean, and it improves on the Hyrule Warriors formula in every single way. The Switch 2 system being more powerful matters a lot for a Musou game. And the story fucking kicks ass. It's really, really good. And by the end, my daughter and I were both crying. I was like, all right, this is good. The ending, like, well done. I didn't see it coming. My daughter saw it coming a little bit, and kind of spoke out about what she thought was going to happen. And it did. And I was like, that's incredible. And that this is canon is incredible. It really matters for what they did at the end, that it's canon. So that's on there. Just added that. But the other 3 on here that I had before the podcast are on here for the same reason. They're on here because I played a little bit of them, some more than others. And if I had played them to completion, each of them would have been on my list. But because I didn't finish them, I didn't put them on my list. Dispatch is number 1. Dispatch fucking kicks ass. It is hilarious. It's goddamn unbelievably hilarious. The jokes land. They're so fucking funny. It's incredibly good writing so far. I'm through 3 episodes, I think.
Okay.
The voice acting obviously is incredible. The Critical Role partnership is just genius. I have a new respect for Marisha Ray. Like I don't really like Marisha Ray in the games, in the Critical Role. I just, something about it just doesn't jive with me. But boy, her voice acting in this game is really good. So I have a new respect for her that I didn't have before. But yeah, it's incredible. I love these kind of Telltale style games, and the way that I assume stuck the landing, at least with the release schedule, where they did it every 2 weeks or whatever it was. Like They didn't delay it like Telltale always did. They were just ready to go, locked and loaded.
They had the game basically done, as far as I can tell, and we're just like, nope, 2 episodes a week for 4 weeks. Go.
Yep. And the way that it plays out, where it's like, it's an episode of television a night. You sit down and you play through that length of a game, basically, and like, cool, I'm done for tonight. I'll play the next one tomorrow night. I got interrupted because I went on vacation and didn't bring my Steam Deck with me, so I would have finished it otherwise, but I didn't bring it with me. So that's one, and then next one, Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's an incredible 3D platformer. There's so much depth to it. There's so much depth to the moveset. There's so much creativity with the levels and just the deformation, and all the collectibles. Like it's fantastic. But I just didn't finish it. And then the last one, I know this is an all-timer, and I know people know it's an all-timer, and people who've played it talk about it being an all-timer. Mario Galaxy 2 is phenomenal. Like one of, if not, I mean, we'll see when I get to the end, but like an incredible 3D platformer.
Yes.
And I played quite a bit of 1 and felt like 1 was like good. Like I didn't stick with it. Like it was good, but I didn't love it. Mario Galaxy 2, I can't. I love it. It's incredible. My daughter, I started playing. My daughter saw me playing because she got it for me for Christmas, and she's like, "Can I play?" I was like, "Yeah." So she started her own file and started playing, and then wouldn't give it back to me. She is much further than I am. She just couldn't stop. She loved it too. So for Dispatch, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Mario Galaxy 2, those games are my jam. I just didn't have the ability to finish those games this year. Dispatch and Mario Galaxy 2 because I got them late. I got them both in December. Donkey Kong Bonanza, just doc school, just has taken up a bunch of my time. So I didn't stick with that one, but I want to get back to them this year and finish them. Dispatch, obviously, I'm in the middle of and will soon. But those are my honorable mentions. Didn't play enough of those 3 to put them on my list, and then Age of Imprisonment, I watched the whole thing but didn't play much of it, so I decided not to put it on my list.
Makes sense. Well then, into the top 5 then.
Yeah, why don't you give us your number 5? I'll do the math.
Number 5, this is a little game I played much earlier in the year, and I'm like, no, this needs to be on my list somewhere. Promise Mascot Agency.
Oh yeah,
I love that. I love that little game. Quirky, weird, small open world collectathon with weird characters, but very heartfelt. It's one of those games where you just play it and you're like, yeah, the devs have a voice here. This feels like nothing else that's out there. Great game feel too. Like the driving the little K truck around feels great. Which probably helped just keep me playing the game and engaged, was just driving that thing, boosting, gliding, taking it for swims as you upgrade it. It's, I don't know, it's a little game. You can tell how where the studio had to like cut budget or like make decisions of being like, okay, we can't do this at like a AAA scale. So how do we do this? With how they like present NPCs and the fact that when you're out, you're not running around as a person. You're actually in a K truck with a little mascot in your back, Pinky, which is one of the best characters of the year. I'm going to be honest.
It's a literal pinky, right? It's like
finger. It's the severed tip of a pinky. Which this has. I mean, it's based around Japanese Yakuza stuff. You play a main character who has been disgraced, who has had like the severed pinky is like your tip of your pinky for you've been disgraced and been exiled. But the main mascot that follows you around, Pinky, she's a severed pinky. But yeah, it's just a game with like weird little goobers that are very endearing, and you're just trying to help them make their lives better, and you're trying to rebuild this small little town, through mascots, and making the townsfolk happy, and rooting out corruption, which you kind of need to do right now. It's kind of a good thing in 2025 feeling. So, yeah, I think it's gone a little under the radar overall, but I do think it's probably one of the better games of the year from just a standpoint of a well-made, unique game that's going to stick with me for a while. It's not long. I think it took me 15 hours, 20 hours tops to like 100% it, get all the achievements. So, like I said, small open world. But yeah, it's a very cool
number
game.
Of podcasts, and people seem to like it who put their hands on it. So that's cool.
Yeah, the thing is, just a lot of people put their hands on it overall.
Yeah,
like it's done fine, but it's a big year, so a lot of games.
Absolutely, awesome. Well, for my number 5, it is I guess they call it open world in some sense. Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is number 5 on my list. I think Mario Kart World is probably the game that I put the most hours into this year, and that includes Final Fantasy Tactics. We played the ever-living shit out of this game as a family, and that's part of the reason why it's on here. Other than the fact that I feel like the mechanics, I mean, Mario Kart they just know what they're doing. With making a kart racer, but the addition of Knockout Tour is addicting as hell. It is so much fun. Like turning Mario Kart into basically a battle royale is a ton of fun. Playing with my wife, with my daughter. I played a little bit of the open world roaming kind of free roam thing. I thought it was interesting. I haven't played enough to really form an opinion, but my daughter played a lot of it and loved running around collecting things, collecting all the outfits for the characters, and then the hidden coins, and there's little exclamation mark boxes you run over to get different challenges, and you hit the P switches to get different challenges. There's a lot there, and then there's just a ton of characters that you unlock. They went back to basics and just it's all Mario characters, like from the
Yeah.
beginning, like the original like Mario Brothers arcade / Atari game, where there's like those little sidestepper crabs are in there as a playable character.
Right.
Yeah, the main cast has lots of different costumes. Unfortunately, not all of them do. I guess that would be a lot to give like fucking Blooper, 6 different costumes or whatever. Or Goomba, who doesn't have fucking arms, yet he can drive a fucking cart. It all makes sense, but I love it. The courses are inventive and fun. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that added a bunch of courses. Eventually, those courses were kind of like, they were okay, but they weren't as inventive as I would expect from a real full Mario Kart course, and that's because they were putting it into World. So yeah, this is number 5 on my list. Easy recommendation for anyone who has a Switch 2, hasn't picked it up yet. But I think the attach rate for Mario Kart World is like 90% or something. So most people have picked it up if they've got a Switch.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be the game that you get with it, or you just get the bundle that has it.
You get the bundle.
So.
Yeah, the bundle sold a ton. So Mario Kart World is going to be one we're going to keep playing. Oddly enough, we're playing Mario Kart. Jesus Christ, we're playing Mario Party Jamboree right now, like a lot. My daughter is way into it, and we're playing as a family. And it's like, it reminds me of playing with you and Travis and Greg in high school. We'd play Mario Party 1 and 2 or whatever. It's like that level of playing Mario Party right now. And it's like, wow, she's having those seminal Mario Party experiences that we had, but with this awesome one that doesn't hurt the palm of your hand.
Yep.
Oh man, there's so many things you can do with the Switch 2. It's great. So, but anyway, Mario Kart World, absolutely number 5 on the list.
All right. That will not be on my list, but only because I don't have a Switch 2. Yeah. So, no Switch 2 games for me. My number 4 though is on Switch 2. I just didn't play it on Switch 2. It's Hades 2.
Oh, nice.
Which it's Hades and plus more. Honestly, I think it's probably like twice as big as original Hades. But Supergiant just hasn't lost their touch with it. Like, if you like Hades, I don't see how you wouldn't like this game. The mechanics are very combat's shifted a bit with the. Now you have effectively MP and your witch, and the way you cast your magic is very different than Zag in the first game. But I found that very refreshing, and I found a lot of the combat evolved from Hades 1 in neat ways. I like the weapons a lot. I played a fair amount of that game. Something derailed. No, Final Fantasy Tactics derailed me. That's right, because it came out a week before.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, I made a lot of progress through it. I've seen the boss of the Up now.
Nice.
I didn't beat it. That was tough. But yeah, it's just really neat. It pulls in Greek mythology in weird ways, just like the first game did. The deep cuts go hard in the Greek mythology in that game. The side character's really neat.
The art is sexy.
Everyone is incredibly sexy in that game. Like, all the art is incredible.
And you get to take baths with them, which is
exactly. You can take baths. The dialogue is great still. They all have things to say, and it improves. Doesn't improves. You continue to get new things as you do more runs, die or not. Like, it has the loops of Hades, just with more. You get your little familiar now as well. I don't know, like, Supergiant set out, they're like, okay, we've never made a sequel, we're going to make a sequel, and they made an incredible sequel.
Agreed, absolutely.
Which, I mean, that's kind of what Supergiant does. They just set out to go and do it. But they did make the mention, this is another little aside, that Amir at one point mentioned that the same core 7 or 8 people that made Bastion all still work at Supergiant. They all made Hades too. They've made every game. No one has left.
I think that's like completely obvious. Like, after I played Bastion for the first time this year, like front to back, and I was like, oh shit, this is like Hades 1.0. This is like very different in so many ways, but so similar in so many ways.
Yeah. It's just crazy to think that core team is like, no, we're going to stick together and work together. game after game.
Doesn't tend to happen,
Well
does it?
over.
In the
No, not
games
really.
industry. Yeah.
I mean, that must be 15, 16 years at this point. I don't remember when Bastion was. But
well, look what happens when a team stays together, man. Like
I
they're
know.
just getting better and better.
Yep.
Like, how do you top Hades? Fuck. I mean, Hades 2 is
yeah,
incredible.
they made Hades 2, and now they'll make something else. But yeah, that's number 4 for me.
Awesome. Number 4 for me is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This game was, I mean, it was all over everywhere this year. You know, taking home tons of honors at the end of the year. But what stood out to me was kind of the approach of role playing game with the active time combat, or not active time combat, the active, I forget what it's called, like the Super Mario RPG.
Sure. Yeah.
Active combat, whatever. And the art style and the visual flair, like all of this standing out in like those early trailers. Not enough for me not to counterpick it, unfortunately, in Fantasy Critic, which we'll talk about next week. Because I wasn't sure
you did not know. None of us knew. I was
know.
risking it.
Yep, I know.
Taking it.
But, you know, this is a team that was not proven. They'd come from other places, but it seemed like a big swing, and I think they landed it. I really enjoyed the combat. I know there's some nits with the timing and stuff. I played at the lowest difficulty, so I had a bit more of a window. And some of the overworld stuff was a little bit, I felt, underbaked. But the story, the voice acting, the art style, the performances, Mael, like, will never leave my heart. Verso, Ben Starr, my God, Jennifer English, like the characters. And then, you know, when I finished Clair Obscur, I thought it was going to be, you know, top of my list, because that final fight with Verso and Mael, I was bawling through the fight, just ugly crying. And it was like a story in a video game to affect me like that as I'm playing through it. Like, no other medium can do that, where like you are doing the thing that you don't want to be doing, to be fighting each other at the end there. You know, in literature I can read it, but in a video game you are doing it, you're experiencing it. And I would sit there and not swing, and I realized I had to go through with it, and just the way that it carries the story through. And, you know, for those who come after, and like the lines about continuing on, and the legacy of the people who came before. And then as you get through the story and realize what it's really about, like, made a nice turn to the story that I feel like was earned. I feel like the emotional moments were earned. I felt like, even though sometimes in video games where you have the same boss fight over and over again, we were fighting Renoir over and over and over again. But I found it to be earned, all of it. And I had such a lasting emotional experience with this game. It's not to the level of the other ones on 1, 2, 3 on my list, but that's only because there is just awesome games ahead. So I was wondering why it sounded like I was talking to myself. Anthony's internet went out, so we are going to pause for just a second, and he'll be back in just a moment. Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yes, you're back.
Cool. Sorry about that. Sorry, everyone.
Okay.
My cable modem just decided to reset itself. So
fun. Well, I said a lot of amazing things about
Clair Obscur
Expedition 33. So,
yeah, which I can talk right into, because that's my number 3.
Nice. All right, let's keep rolling.
And it only moved up to number 3 this past break because my son played through it and beat it.
Oh, nice.
And I still have problems with the game. Like, the combat never grabbed me as much as I think other people. I realized, but realizing him playing it as well, he enjoyed the combat quite a bit, the active doing things, but he still did the same thing I did, which was I enjoy it more when I don't actually have to do the combat. which is have a build that just annihilates everything in like one hit. But I had a deeper appreciation for the game because of the way he didn't use guys. He just made a build for Verso in it that was he put like 400 Luminous on Verso, so he could have like every Picto that he wanted.
Damn.
And it was like start battle at 1 health. Everything that just buff your everything about you for having like low life, and then all the things that would basically he found a thing that would get rid of negative status effects, and then he found another Picto that was like every 5th attack does 300% damage. A strike from an attack does 300% damage, but up to it does hits 1 through 4 only do 50% damage.
Yeah.
But the Picto that removes the debuff removes that negative penalty on your previous ones.
Oh,
so
wow.
He was able to just he was hitting for over 100 million damage.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
He just annihilated. He was level 99 on all his characters by then, but he just started steamrolling everything in like one hit. He fought Clea in the mansion and thing. He finished the tower. Like, but it was basically he just optimized it where he didn't have to do the combat anymore. He's like, oh my God, no, I go in, I start first. He got the Picto to do take 2 actions in a row, sort of thing. So like Verso has an attack that takes a turn to charge, but if you have the 2 actions, go first, and you can always take 2 actions, it immediately goes off. And he would just annihilate the entire enemy in one swoop. So I had a new appreciation for the game, and just him being able to like figure out a build and then just run with it and push it so hard. And yeah, he was really invested in the story and got to see some of the story again while he was playing. And like his reaction to the end of Act 1 was,
oh yeah,
like it wasn't even sad. He was just like, it was a shock. He's like, wait, what? but I need Gustav.
I
feel like that's going to be an Eris moment. For this generation. Similar thing of being like, but no, I've played with this character. I built them like they're part of my team, like mechanically. But what do you mean? They can't go away. That's not right.
Right. I invested in this character.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
So that was that just bumped it up one spot for me, just watching and play through it and getting kind of getting closer to it again and seeing it and being like, yeah, I see why this game was winning a bunch of Game of the Year awards overall. It is a very good game. The music is incredible.
It's so good. God damn, that guy is.
That is like probably one of the best soundtracks of the year.
Oh yeah, by a mile, I think.
Last decade, probably. It's just like out of nowhere, that guy is just like, yep, doing a video game soundtrack, and just.
Well, seeing him on the Game Awards, stage, just being so confident, like God damn, man, what a turn! That's amazing.
Yeah, for someone who's never even done game composing, before,
exactly,
or anything, it was just like, no,
I pushed in a band camp, and now I'm up here on stage. As you dropped out, I was talking about how emotional the game was for me, and just I don't know if you heard it, but I was saying I was bawling through the final fight. How everything was earned with Renoir, where you fight 3 times this guy or 4 times, and it's like when games do that, it's annoying that you're fighting the same boss over and over again. But they changed it each time, and it felt earned every time. It just emotionally resonated with me throughout the whole year. And the only reason it's 4 on my list and not higher is because there are 3 games that just will stick with me for the rest of my life. Above it, so awesome. So Claire here is my number 4 and your number 3.
Yeah.
Well, my number 3 is on your list too, but it's in your honorable mention. Split Fiction is my number 3. Split Fiction, kind of same with some other games on my list, like the collaborative experience spoke a lot to this game lingering in my heart. I played this entire game with Kartik, a good friend that I have down here, and we reconnected over this game. We had been not hanging out as much. We both been busy and stuff like that. And we purposely said, let's play a game together. And he's like, I got this game. I can loan you, or, whatever it is. He buys it, and then I can have a pass to play with him or whatever. So we played basically once a week, getting through the game over probably 2 months. And maybe less, because towards the end we kept wanting to play night after night. But it was just amazing. And you spoke to it earlier, how what you do impacts the person on the other screen, and you're working in tandem. Where you're doing it over voice chat, your kids are doing it face to face. And the way that builds, and then, each level, the mechanics change, and then the side stories, like those things change too, and they're very different, and they're all very creative and just so whip smart the way that they created this game. But then it crescendos in that final level, where just everything they could do to really have you depend on each other. And like the way the game works is, for people who haven't played it, you're on one half, your friend's on the other half, and you're kind of going through sci-fi or fantasy, and kind of interacting in some ways together. But then the last one, like, kind of changes the way the half of the screen moves, and it just keeps rotating throughout the entire level. And you're kind of really having to stay on your toes and put everything together at the end there. It's, fucking perfect video game. Like, it's incredible. I still think about it. I wish I could, when people talk about erase their fucking memories and go back and do a game, this is one of them. I cherished that experience this summer. And it's absolutely deserving a place on this list. It would be higher, but again, there are two above it that are all timers, man. So, yeah.
Now I want to. Are they going to be the same ones I have?
If they are not the same ones that you have, I will be fucking shocked.
I just am like, what order is it going to be?
I think they're the same. They have to be the same.
So my number 2, I couldn't in good conscience put it number 1. Not because I don't love the game. I love it so much. It's just not a new game. My number 2 is Final Fantasy Tactics: Evil's Chronicles. And the only reason it's not number 1 is because this is a game I played a long time ago and have played many times, and it is one of my favorite games of all time. It's number 2 on here because they didn't fuck it up. And it would be possible. Like, as much as I like the War of the Lions version, it does fuck a few things up here and there. Like some certain balance things. They add a couple different fights in that they didn't need to. They mess with the story a little bit. And I don't think that part helps the game. But it's still a very, very good game. This one just like cut it back down to the PS1 version with voice acting. Really great voice acting.
Oh, so
overall. Good. A great story that still holds up to this day. If anything, maybe more relevant to the times we're living in.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's dealing with themes and things that are pretty universal over like modern Western history, class divisions, things like that, and misuse of power, how religion can play in that, how people can use religion to do that. So, it's pulling from pretty core ideas of Western history here, but it does it in a very compelling package, and a very Final Fantasy package way, where you eventually have to kill God, because...
Of course.
Yeah, it's Final Fantasy. Why wouldn't you?
It wouldn't be a Final Fantasy if you weren't killing God.
Yeah. So, yeah, and they didn't... They rebalanced a lot of the abilities from like a mechanic standpoint. They didn't screw up the mechanics. They just rebalanced like costs on abilities, and I think it made a better game. It's, to me, kind of the definitive version of this game now.
Even without the Final Fantasy 12 stuff.
I'm past that now. Where I'm like, okay. I'm like, I would love to have Balthier in there, but I could give or take the other stuff in War of the Lions. So that's why, like, the other the Onion Knight and the Dark Knight that they added as well, like, they're fine jobs, but they don't bring a whole lot, I would say, crazy new. Like, not enough to make me be like, oh, well, you need those for the definitive. So I'm like, no, you don't really.
Yeah.
The 20 jobs they have in the game are more than enough with the abilities they have to make crazy builds, break the game in any way you want to. Yeah, it holds up, and I'm glad that it's back and playable in pretty much any place you want to play it now, I think.
Yeah, it's like on every console, I think.
Yeah, I think it is.
Maybe
So
Xbox too?
So,
Yeah.
it's 2 on my list, but still number 1 in my heart overall.
Yeah, sure.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
That makes sense. I mean, because you've lived with that game for 3 decades now or whatever, so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Big inspiration for me from a designs perspective, like looking at how it balances all its mechanics, and how those are mechanics tie in with the story, and how the story is told through the mechanics and the battles. There's a lot to really like there, and there's a reason why it holds up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really good. That's my number 2.
Awesome. So, Final Fantasy Tactics, number 2 on your list. For me, this has been an interesting year. I think on my list I looked at it earlier, I've completed 17 or 18 video games this year, and a number of them were from my backlog. A number of them were Final Fantasy games from my backlog. And I really enjoyed so many of them. In fact, today in my doc school intensive class, one of the guys who has a Assassin's Creed tattoo, we connect over video games. He's like, "What have you been playing lately?" I'm like, "I've been reading a lot, but I've been playing AC Shadows when I had some time." Because he's a big AC fan. And I said, "What are you playing?" He's like, "I'm playing Final Fantasy 12." And I was like, "Oh my God, I just played that for the first time last year." And we were talking about that game, and he was in love with it. And
yes.
yeah, man.
Right.
Exactly. That's the right perspective.
Yes.
I think about that game a lot. I think initially I had some critiques of it and it was fun, but also some negativity around it. The more I get away from it, the more I think, God, that was a real fucking good game. But I played a bunch of Final Fantasy this year. I played 2, I played 3, I played 4, I played 9, I played quite a bit of 8, and I played Final Fantasy Tactics, which is number 2 on my list. I planned to play Final Fantasy Tactics for the RPG Backlog podcast with a couple friends. We're going to play it over time. Play sections per week or whatever. And then I got COVID for the first time. So I got COVID right as this game came out. So I literally played. It came out on the 30th. I finished it by the 4th, and I put 55 hours into it.
Yep.
It was a fever dream of an experience. It's everything you've said. It was. It's everything I'm looking for in a Final Fantasy game with a tactics skin on it, or a take on it. I mean, it was challenging. It was the story was rich and dense. The characters were awesome. There were so many different characters, so many different builds, so many different jobs. I finally understood what the fuck a job was. And like everything that you and Travis have been talking about for decades, I finally saw, and I was so happy about it because it followed on the heels of going to PAX with you and meeting the people who fucking made this game. I have a poster signed on the wall right next to me, a picture with them. In fact, it became, 2025 is the fucking year of Final Fantasy. It's a shock to me that it's not number 1 on the list. And I really, really wrestled with which one was going to be number 1. And I didn't have the same thing as you, which is, it's an old game. It is, but I never played it.
Exactly.
It's just playing this game at the same time as reading A Distant Mirror, the Barbara Tuchman book of 14th century.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Oh man, it's fucking a wonderful companion. You're welcome. It's a wonderful companion piece because what's happening in that book in fucking 14th century France is like what's happening in this game. And it's just the richness. Like this time when I played this game was also the time that I got back into reading, like hardcore. And this was like the density and richness of an amazing story. Obviously the War of the Roses is plumbed for everything in literature. I mean, A Song of Ice and Fire is based on it as well, or takes inspiration from it. And that's my favorite thing in literature. This game, it's incredible. And then I love the side little hidden things, like Cloud is fucking in this for some reason.
So much.
And he's great, man. I have him in there. I'm just fucking obsessed with Final Fantasy VII at this point. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know who I am. Like I played Final Fantasy Tactics in 4 fucking days, and number 1 on my list doesn't make any sense. But I'm gonna save that because you're gonna go to you. What's your number 1, my friend?
Before I do that, so I mean, this is actually an interesting thing. Now you've played Tactics, you've played Final Fantasy 12, and then before 12, you played Crimson Shroud.
Yeah.
Right. Can you see, if you look at those 3 games, it's the same lead designer?
If I didn't know that, if I had just looked at those 3 games and said, and been asked, do you think the same person was involved in creating this game? I would absolutely 100%. The fingerprints are so obvious.
It's so interesting to me how much like different the games that Matsuno makes, but how you're like, yeah, that it has his DNA all over it. Just like,
guys.
yep, that's Matsuno. And it started with, I mean, Tactics Ogre back in the day. I guess that's, if you want another Tactics game, Tactics Ogre Reborn is a thing.
That's
that
the one
exists.
that everyone's recommended, and I have it. I want to get into that. It's a systemic crunchiness that is just what stands out to me.
But yeah, so my number 1 is, I assume, going to be your number 1 too, because I would be shocked if it's not on your list. Is probably the most innovative game I played this year, which is Blueprints.
Yes, we did it. We did it.
I judged it for IGF briefly, enough to know, like, hey, this is a good game. Stop. Get the game when it comes out. And then it just becomes an obsession. In the way of this weird little puzzle game where you're going through like roguelike, what would you even, roguelike, I don't know, why am I spacing on the name of the genre? Adventure game, adventure puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like the combination of the two, of the roguelike and the puzzle game, really shouldn't work as well as it does, and I think in a lot of places it would not work. But what Blueprints does is focus the puzzle around, actually you can find the solutions to the puzzles pretty easily. Getting back to where you can execute them, much harder.
Yeah,
it's using the roguelike run to learn more information as you're solving a puzzle. You're learning more information probably about a dozen other puzzles. This is a game that made me have a notebook full of notes of like, oh, in this room there's this and this. Just huge amounts of nested information that made generally most runs pretty interesting, and you always kind of found out something new. I didn't push all the way. I mean, I would say the end of Act 1, and I did one chamber of Act 2. Knowing what 2 was, and I'm like, I don't think I can commit even more time to this, but exactly. Based on people at work who did push through all of it, it was hundreds of hours of them playing this game. Like, but it wasn't getting old to me. I was having a lot of fun. I felt like I was starting to master the systems. That's the interesting thing with you at the beginning. It's like, oh, how am I gonna solve these puzzles? How am I gonna get stuff to happen? But like a good roguelike, you can start to shape your runs and just generally have more knowledge. So you're more skillful in like what rooms you'll place down to move through, to open up new possibilities. And it just kept on opening like that, layer after layer every time I was playing it, and just kept going. Yeah, I would have not expected this game to work, and it worked as well as it did, and also to come from, again, another indie. Like, this was a solo dev project, contracted out art as needed, but that's about it. Had been working on this game for 7-8 years, and it kind of shows in the end of just how much content was there and how well polished the content was. I don't think I ever experienced a crash or anything with it.
Oh, imagine how if you got to like a moment where you finally got back to doing a puzzle and the fucking thing would crash. Oh my god.
Yeah. It was solid from a technical standpoint. And it just brought me back over and over again. And like I said, it's been a long time since I've needed a notebook for a game.
Yep.
And this game kind of demands it out of you. You got to put the information somewhere. You can't keep it all in your head.
Yep. There's too much.
Yeah. Man, it was a good game. And I assume it's number one for you.
Well, my number one is a little game called Assassin's Creed Shadows. No,
Okay.
just kidding.
That's fine.
It's fucking Blueprints with like, I knew it when I played it. I was like, there's nothing's going to beat this game. And then I played Split Fiction. I was like, ooh. And then I played Clair Obscura. I'm like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And I played Final Fantasy Tactics. I was like, fuck, it's Final Fantasy. But as I continued to wrestle with this, I was like, Blueprints is singular. Like Final Fantasy Tactics is incredible, but Blueprints is singular. Nothing like it. It's everything that you said. And then the added dimension for me is that it drew my wife and my daughter in. Like we would do runs together. Like we would start puzzling things out. We would take notes together. They would play without me a couple of times because they wanted to see what happened next. We were on vacation in Monterey this week, and my daughter found one of those fortune-telling machines, the Zoltan or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, can we do that? I was like, I don't have any fucking cash. It only takes cash. Sorry. And she really wanted to do it. And that's the reason why she stopped playing, because that thing scared her. But it was so interesting for her to like want to engage with it in the real life. I was like, oh, maybe we could go back to Blueprints. But oh man, shaping your runs, like you say, like picking up the items, bringing items to the coat check that you could save for next time. You could just like guarantee you got a little bit more, or increasing your allowance, unlocking things outside of the mansion. Like so many little things that you could do to kind of get a bit of an edge in your next run. And then when your next run inevitably failed, you gained some knowledge. You didn't have to get to the end to unlock anything to learn one new thing. Like, oh, these chess pieces. Okay, I'm going to mark down which chess pieces are where. Okay, well, these picture puzzles, they mean something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's write that down. Okay, and just like the entendre of I guess it's a triple entendre, blueprints, but then also blueprints of a house. And there's also like the ivy, which is a blueprints ivy, which is all over the house as well. And then, getting through just like you getting through the end, rolling credits, feeling fucking satisfied. And then there's, oh, you just finished a tutorial, basically. Like there's a fuck ton more. And I did a little bit more. I was like, I would love to do more, but I know if I keep going right now, it's hundreds of hours and I don't have that time. I'm starting the doctorate. I gotta mark this down as like I did it. And that's what I did. I can't stop thinking about this game. I think about this game constantly. I played it on PlayStation Premium or whatever it was. It came out, whatever. So I actually didn't buy it. I played it there. But then my subscription lapsed, so I'm back down to basic. So I don't have access to it right now. So I'm going to pick it up eventually, but I'm kind of waiting to see if they do a physical. I don't know if they will or what, but this is a game like with books right now. We're checking tons of stuff out of the library with my daughter too. And, we talk about, if we get a book from the library that we just like love and we want to read and reread, that's when we buy the book, or we buy the book if it's signed or whatever. And this is one of those games where like, I've played it. I've played probably as much as I want to play of it. Maybe I'll play it again, but this is a game that I need to own. I need to have this physically. This needs to be a part of my collection forever. And it's hilarious. It's still funny to me because when you were talking about this game originally, I was like, this sounds like some nerdy ass shit. This is definitely
some nerdy ass shit.
Absolutely an Anthony game. I can see why he's going to love this game. Like, this is not going to be a game for me. And because it came out on premium, I was like, well, I can just check it out. He's talked a lot about it. Like there's got to be something to it. And I just couldn't stop. Like I'd do it just one more run. I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking hooked. I played like 5 hours in the first 2 days. Like, oh my God. And then my, Barbara, the former co-president with me of the union, got into it just as hard as I did. She took it on vacation with her, played on her laptop. She was texting me about where she was and, asking for little tips here and there and getting through. And she got as far as I did and just loved it as much as I did. It's a special fucking game, and I am so happy. We have not had a consensus number one game of the year for our podcast for several years. It's mainly been math, but this one is 10 points. Nope. Top of the list.
10 points, Blueprints. And then the next highest is Tactics.
Yep, it's Blueprints, then Tactics, and then Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which makes a fucking ton of sense, man. Those three stand out this year for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, yeah.
That was a good year.
Oh, God, what a great year. Game of the year for Prof and Dev Play Games is Blueprints. Second place is Final Fantasy Tactics. And third is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. All three of those games are games that I want to replay. So what a banger year.
What if I told you there is already a physical copy of Blueprints?
There is? Did I miss that?
It's up for pre-order on I Am 8-Bit.
Well, then I'm going to pick that up. I Am 8-Bit. Thank you. I did not realize that.
I just Googled physical release and it's like, oh, yep. I Am 8-Bit has done a physical release of it. They've done the soundtrack LPs and CDs, and then they have Blueprints Swimbird plush.
Oh my God, that's funny.
A bunch of stuff. Oh, they have the garden key. The key was that? Secret garden key replica.
Oh, that's very cool. Hold on a second.
Oh my God, there's just like so much stuff here. I should not spend any money. There's the link directly to.
Awesome.
The
I'm
PS5
logging in right
version.
now.
But yeah, I was curious if your 1 and 2 would be flipped, and then we'd have a tie.
Yeah, we would have. Absolutely. It would have been 9 points each.
Yeah.
Wow.
When we got down to it, I didn't know where. I assumed Tactics was going to be on. I just didn't know where. I assumed both of these were. But yeah, these are ones that really didn't shift for me at all. I mean, I grappled with if I should include Tactics at all.
Right, because of what you said.
Because of just, I'm like, it is the best game. What are you talking about?
But this Blueprints pre-order is shipping Q4 2025.
It clearly did not ship Q4 2025.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, it's a good year. I think Blueprints is one I'll go back and play again at some point or continue. Because I think there are things that I've learned that I could do now that I want to go see.
Yeah,
like get the computer chips.
Right. Yeah, and
I've got 2 of them.
And having one of them in the room that you start in, or just in that first room that you don't notice until you swing at
a thing that's been there the entire game.
Yeah, exactly.
And then makes you then go, oh, what do I have to look at for in every room from now? Like what have I missed? That's why it's fascinating as a game on that layers where it's like, yep, recontextualize all the stuff you've seen before of like, well, now I need to experiment again. It's so good.
So good. Well, worthy. What a list. What a worthy list.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for playing games this year, Anthony, and thanks for talking about them with me. Another year of Prof and Dev Play games in the books, believe it or not. That was our 10th year. What the fuck?
What?
Crazy, huh?
No, I'm turning to dust right now. Sorry.
Exactly. Yep. You got old kids. You've got old podcast. At least this podcast is older than my child.
That's true.
Younger than both of yours.
It's true.
So that makes me younger than you. That's not true. That's not true, unfortunately.
Nope. Sorry.
Yeah. Man. Well, thanks everyone for sticking with us this year. Next week, we're going to do our Fantasy Critic draft, and we're going to talk about our Fantasy Critic from last year, which was maybe the most interesting one we've had yet.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Super, super cool. So, everyone, thanks for listening. Rate us on your podcast service of choice. Tell your friends, and we will be back next week with Fantasy Critic.
Thanks, everyone.